So, Morel,
Yes.
we're playing a game. We have a true or false session, and I'll ask you questions. Then you tell us whether the statement is true or false, and give us further explanation on why it's true or why it's false.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are 3 questions for you. The first question is: the elephant is the most important regulator and modifier of the Miombo woodlands in the national parks where it is found, because of its interaction with trees, that is falling them and debarking them, and also because of the distribution of seeds through its dung.
Yeah.
True or false?
I would say that is very true.
Okay.
Because elephants, one, are known to be, even though they are very family oriented and they don't eat meat or things like that, they can be very destructive when it comes to trees.
Okay.
Yeah, because they eat a lot, and I'm sure maybe this was earlier mentioned that they can eat 19 hours a day. Yes. So most of the time they spend their time moving around and eating. So they would walk for kilometers and walk for a very long time from area to area. And in that time they would be eating a lot. So their food mainly would consist of trees, leaves, tree barks, at times even small branches, grass and things like that. When they're getting to some branches and they're getting to some barks and things like that, you'd find that they would they would push trees down. They would push trees down and the tree would fall. And imagine you had a very big herd and most of them are adults and they're able to push a very big tree down, what would happen to that forest in a year? They would change that thicket to a savanna. That's one. But at the same time, you have to think of it this way: elephants also plant trees.
Okay.
So in the little fruits that they find when they are eating also seeds, and it can be monkey bread, commonly known as musekese, things like that. And they'll usually eat a lot of seeds in the dry season. And when they're moving from one area to another, they'll eat and digest and they'll drop dung. In that dung, elephants are known to have a very poor digestion, so at times you might find a hole if it's possible. So the seeds usually are not really digested. And when it drops that dung, you'd find that it would plant the tree. When the rain falls, that tree, that seed would grow into a tree. So in the next 5 years, with all those trees, all those seeds that the elephant has been eating, it will be changed into a thicket again. So you see how elephants do help in the ecosystem. Of course, they create more trees, and at the same time, they also change down some woodlands, some thickets into woodlands and things like that. Yeah. But that's not the only importance of elephants. There are a lot of connections to elephants that most people don't realize. Yeah. Even to us as people. I remember when I told my grandparents that I worked with elephants. She told me, when I was younger, when you're in a village and in a rural area, and how elephants move a lot. They usually create routes because they have a very good memory.
Yes.
So they would usually use the same route and eventually to become a road. In the olden days, people used to use those routes to connect village to village.
Okay.
Now with such an animal, you would see just how intelligent it is and just how much it means to us and the ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the ecological statement, there's a friend I heard this from. You'll confirm it based on the background you've given. Huh?
Yes.
So elephants have the capability to turn a woodlands ecosystem to a savanna ecosystem,
Yes.
and a savanna ecosystem to a woodlands ecosystem.
Yes.
True.
It is true.
Wow. Okay. All right. Next question.
Yes.
The elephant's trunk is its extended nose, and that trunk works as its arm and hand.
Yes.
That's true. Huh?
That is very true. Sorry. Okay. I'm saying yes.
Yes.
The elephant's trunk, is its extended nose, and definitely uses it for as a hand.
Okay.
You know, just like a person uses their hands to pick up stuff, to push stuff. You know, when a door is stuck, you push with your hands and things like that. It's the same even for an elephant. An elephant's trunk is very flexible and has so much strength that it can easily push a person, you know, and it can be so coordinated that it can easily pick up a paper. Yes. So with all those things, you won't find an elephant using its legs to try and do stuff. They do that maybe for assistance.
Elephants have a high sense of smell and can smell water from 40 kilometers away. True or false?
Actually, you can't really tell the actual kilometer of how far can it smell, but an elephant will smell, have got a good sense of smell.
Okay.
They can smell a long distance away.
Okay.
It's about 20 times more than that of a dog.
Okay. The sense of smell is
Yes.
20 times that of a dog.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's quite true, I guess, huh? Yeah. Second question. Elephants have a high sense of hearing because of their huge fan-like ears.
Yes, that's true. And those ears, they are large as compared with Asian elephant. The Asian elephant, the ears, they are small.
Okay.
But ours, they are large, and they help them to trap the sounds. Once the ears they are wide open, then all the sound can be easily collected. Then they can see where the sound is coming from.
Okay.
Yes.
In connection to ears, I hear when it gets windy, they also become disoriented. Is that true?
Exactly. And also over the ears, it helps an elephant to cool up the body.
Okay.
Yeah, because behind the ears is where the veins are. So
Okay.
when it's very hot, it helps at least they'll be start flapping up and down, showing that the elephant is trying to cool up their body system.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Next question. An elephant only runs in straight lines. So if an elephant is chasing you, just keep on going in zigzag shapes, then it won't catch you.
That's false. Actually, with my experience of working as a keeper for 8 years, an elephant doesn't just walk in straight direction only. No. Actually, you can be learning in different direction. 10 left, 10 right. Be following your steps. If you turn left, it will turn left also. So an elephant will walk or will learn in different directions according to where you are learning. If it's in a straight line, it will still continue the straight line.
Okay.
If you turn different direction, it will do the same.
All right. So that's quite false, huh?
Yes.
All right. Next myth bust or confirmation. The tusks of an elephant are overgrown canine teeth.
That's false.
False.
Yes.
Okay.
because,
What's the truth?
the tusk of an elephant, they are the incisors teeth.
Okay.
Yes. So those tusks, they help an elephant to dig for water, also for self-defense in the wild. At the same time, they use the tusk to carry the robe in the bush.
Okay.
Yes. So those, they are part of the teeth
Okay.
of an elephant.
Okay. All right. So question 1. Elephants have a high sense of empathy and can actually shed tears and will linger around the dead carcass of another elephant for days.
Okay, I'm going to give you a true, false, true.
Okay.
Because elephants, without doubt, elephants do have, there's always a big argument in scientific worlds about whether we should talk about science and emotion in the same sentence. But without a doubt, elephants definitely have empathy. They have emotions. You can see that they recognize when there is something happy. We can see when they are not so happy. We're sitting there. So they do have an empathy. At times of trouble, they will gather together. Shedding tears, I think what people tend to mistake, elephants naturally have a lot of moisture that kind of comes from their eyes, especially if you look at an elephant's eyes, they have very long eyelashes. And they're there to help because they're living in an environment that can be very dusty, very dirty, and they can actually just have dirt and dust in their eyes, and they will produce a lot of tears.
Okay.
So we said they also have on the side of their head a temporal gland.
Okay.
And when they are stressed, when they are happy, when they are upset, liquid will come from that temporal gland and it will run down the side of the cheek. That can also sometimes look like tears. So if an elephant had been seen after an event, maybe an elephant has been shot, then I would expect to see moisture on the faces of elephants.
Okay.
But I do not believe that is actually they are crying. That is us putting a human emotion onto an animal.
Okay.
In the third part, they will gather around carcasses and they will pick up bones and they will use their trunks to sniff and smell. It's like they're trying to find out the story.
Okay.
So
What happened?
Yeah, or there's something here. They are very, very curious creatures anyway.
Okay.
So they were quite likely to any carcass they would investigate. But they do seem to be drawn. There's plenty of studies that show that there are places when there are bones that they will spend time.
Okay.
Or they will go to the body. I mean, people have seen elephants pick up branches and put them on the body of a dead elephant. Now, again, we quite often put a human emotion like, oh, look, they're covering the body because they want to give it a good burial. It might just be that the elephant has got something else in its mind. But the action has been done.
Okay.
And I think we just have to be careful that we don't put human emotions onto a different species. We can only remark on what you actually see.
Okay. Second question. The elephant's worst enemy, apart from poachers, are red ants. Because when the red ants enter its trunk, the elephants will hit themselves against a tree to try and remove them. And sometimes they'll do this to the point of death.
Okay, again, I'm going to go with true-ish.
Okay.
Okay, so
True-ish.
not necessarily, that's right, not necessarily ants. I mean, small insect. You imagine, you know how much the sting of an ant can bite, especially with the red ants. Okay,
Yes.
and imagine if you got them in your nose and they bit. That problem is exactly the same for the elephant. So if you get an insect that bites it, equally the African honeybee has got quite an aggressive beak and can sting. So elephants are not great fans of either.
Okay.
The situation that you could find with these particular ants, not necessarily the red ants, is there is a particular acacia tree, Drepanalobium, that has a kind of gall. It's like a big seed pod. And the ants actually make their home inside that seed pod. And it's almost like the acacia and the ant have come to an agreement to protect the tree, because elephants and giraffe like to browse that tree.
Okay.
And when it's snapping the branches, taking the leaves, the tree's in danger of being killed. So what can happen is the elephant will come in with its trunk, the ants will come out of the gall, straight up the elephant's nose. And they will release, it's like a bite with formic acid.
Okay.
And the elephant is like, oh, that's not good. The same with the giraffe, it puts its tongue out, all of a sudden, full of ants.
Okay.
Not a really good thing. So the elephant is more cautious because they are the clever animals. So they will try and avoid, if they think there are those insects, they're likely to try and browse somewhere else.
Okay.
So true-ish.
Okay. All right. Then the next one. An elephant can eat 24 loaves of bread in a sitting. How much mass can it actually eat in a sitting? And how much water will it drink as well in a sitting?
Okay, so we've got to kind of go, I'm now going to go with, I'm not going to do a true and false on this one at all. Whoever tried to feed an elephant 24 loaves of bread would be my first question.
I'm wondering.
Sitting there. So the thing is, an elephant, a couple of things you can know for sure about an elephant. An elephant needs to eat 5% of its body weight every day.
Okay.
So you think even the smallest elephant that you're going to see at the nursery here is already over 270 kilos in weight. So she's already looking for 10, 12 kilos of food every day.
Wow.
A big bull elephant can be looking for 300, even 350 kilos of food every single day.
Wow.
Just to maintain body. So to get that amount of food, they have to eat a lot. So they'll eat for something like 19 out of 24 hours every day they will be
19.
eating. So when you say a sitting, they don't really have a sitting. They are eating continually.
Literally.
And the only time they're not eating is when they're walking from one food source to the next.
Okay.
And then they eat again. And they'll even doze against a tree. They very rarely stop, sleep, get up and start again. It's a constant eat and walk, eat and walk.
Okay.
They can, I mean, so a lot of food every day, 300 to 350 kilos. And they can actually, if you can imagine a big bull elephant, and you think he's putting some food in his mouth and he's passing some dung out the other end, in the sort of GI tract in between those two things, they can have up to 420 kilos of food matter in their bodies at any one time.
Wow.
Drinking, they tend to drink once a day,
Okay.
or when they have the opportunity, but they can take up to 200 litres in one day.
Okay.
And they tend to take that in one go because water is a precious commodity, as we know. So when they find the water source, they will fill up,
Okay.
and then they will keep going until they need to fill up again.
Okay.
So hopefully, not really a
Interesting.
true and false, but hopefully an answer.
Yes, we are enlightened actually. The last question for you, Liz, is elephants have poor eyesight and are actually colorblind.
Okay, so they do have poor eyesight, without
Okay.
a doubt. Of their main senses, eyesight is probably the poorest.
Okay.
So they wouldn't necessarily, if you were standing within 20 meters away and you're very, very, very still, they wouldn't necessarily see you.
They wouldn't
until
see
you move,
20 meters away.
maybe.
Okay.
But they could do. We're not 100% sure, but it's not a great. I say they do not rely on their eyesight
Okay.
like many other animals. You get other
Okay.
animals, say like a bush baby at night has massive eyes because it's using its eyes a lot.
Okay.
The lion, the cheetah. The cheetah can pick a prey out from 300 meters away with his eyes. So, as for color blindness, without doubt, the elephant is what they call dichromatic, whereas us humans are trichromatic. We're not 100% sure whether that means there is. With humans, we tend to have a red-green color blindness.
Yes.
Not 100% sure if it's so much red-green, but certainly they carry the same DNA that would indicate they are to a degree colorblind during the day.
Okay.
But at night, their vision changes again. And again, they're an animal that moves night and day. So he's sitting there. So not true color blindness, but definitely dichromatic.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering the challenge.
You're welcome.
So, Liz, thank you so much for enlightening us and giving us a bit of a background to what you do here at Game Rangers International.
No, you're very welcome. And I say, for us, the more people that can come and talk to us, we're happy to educate. You know, knowledge is power. And the more we educate, the more we can achieve together. So thank
Indeed.
you for coming.
All right. Thank you for having us.
Thanks.